Hello, I'm Joshua Carv Baradas. I am a first year in the design department in higher diploma in graphic design. It was unexpected for me because I've heard about the campus, but it never considered because I didn't know about the design program until I was suggested by a friend to come to this institute. I was overwhelmed because seeing how much there's a lot of streams such as you can learn fashion, interior architecture, and knowing when I heard that they have the graphic design stream, I was also excited because I wanted to continue pursuing in the field that I was familiar with, which was graphic design. It was mostly my interest in and my experience with doing multimedia art. So I had experience doing digital illustration, film, photography, mostly anything to do with digital media in general. And I did freelance work and projects, especially because my mother was also a graphic designer as well. So I wanted to not only pursue in the arts but also follow in her footsteps to not only be a graphic designer or graphic artist in the future in my work experience. We've been doing a lot of projects and a lot of learning more within the design terms, such as learning about what fonts should be used, how to carefully place, how to do concepts, how to do compositions better in terms of designs, and as well as what other types of medium we're going to use, such as how to be familiar with Photoshop, or as well as how to be more practical in the business sense. So example, if you're a designer itself, you have to learn how to organize an exhibition or how to get your designs out there for example, like in a design exhibition, or if when you're working with a client, you have to make a logo for them and so on. They were able to gave me more insight and as well as their own experience. When I did this, when I'm talking with a lecturer, for example, they were able to give me examples such as when I did in my own workspace, they did this, so they of course they would know better as well. But they also allow me to give me freedom, because even right now I'm also still doing freelance graphic design work, so it helps me be more practical in a more graphic design sense. So at least I was able to maintain or enhance my mindset as a designer in general. So I get to learn business terms as well, concepts as well, and also to how to really work well, whether with a client or an employer, when I'm doing these type of projects or within the workspace, work field. This one's freelance project, I always have to wait every 2 months, which is it's a Philippine magazine, the publication magazine that they always give out every 2 months. They would give out they would tell about the church readings, the Sunday readings, and mostly like that. So they were able to ask me I was able to ask them their comments on how's the positioning of the paragraphs, is the picture good, is the color not too harsh on the viewer's eyes, is it too hard to read, is it too easy to read, or is it meant for adults, is it meant for teenagers, is it meant for kids. So they were able to give me a lot of comments. It will make it more easy for me to work more further on, because I still continue to do these projects later on for every 2 months. It helps a lot, but of course, the only thing what contradicts is because they have their own values and I have my own values. So what they've learned at that time, but it may be different from what they're doing right now as well. Especially when I got to be more familiar of what's happening around the trends, especially with the whole social media and everything. So I'm mostly keeping up with that, but maybe for them it may be different because they may be more on a more business level as well. Maybe the practicality is just different, especially example with the whole Zoom thing. So if it's using through Zoom or using online, getting resources like that and everything is just there's a lot of design trends to say. So there are people who would like to add shadows in their design, but then there are also people who want to just have flat base colors, so there's no 3D to it in a way. So it's kind of contradicting what we've learned, but it's just mostly just contradicting trends, what we think it looks better for design. In a way, it helps me practice on how to work and collaborate with other people as well, especially as a non-Chinese student as myself. So and being here in Hong Kong, so there's this mindset when I first moved here was I was afraid to I had to like find like maybe non-Chinese people like myself, or maybe when I try to work with someone, maybe I cannot understand because of language barriers. But throughout my time here, it's just I get to learn like kind of firsthand. There's no language barrier as long as we get to easy to communicate more better, understand each other, where we came from in background, and try to understand and always take it easy on each other and take in opinions. Then at least it helps me to work well in terms of collaboration and getting to learn to really be more open-minded on ideas and what we can read arts, because design is mostly to interpret a message in like in an art sense in a way. So it's like if through this design what message can you get back from it? Whether it's a poster, like from that poster, oh, I can get something from the event. Oh, message is there's an event coming, I should go to that. Or if it's for a company logo, oh, this is what the company does. Even if they didn't give you that much message, it's just from that design, it already speaks for itself. Like a picture speaks 1,000 words, that type of sense. So at least it helps me to not only learn a more design sense, but helps me collaborate so that I can be more comfortable to work with everyone in the future. Work experience, more opportunities, and more connections, because I find I would say connection is more important when working, and especially if I get to be more familiar people within the field of design. I get to work with them, especially it's something I like to do, which is design and art. After finishing my time here, I can actually feel like I'm ready to like take on the design world. And their slogan here is "Design can change the world." So I can really hope I can make a change in what I do in design.